Welcome in, everybody, to the 423 Football Podcast. We are back again to talk Week 13 preview. And I don't know about you, Brett, but playoffs are, 2 weeks away? I'm starting to make, this is, I kind of died down my trade talks there for a while, but now I'm back in the race. I'm back in the trade talk race, and everyone knows that's a good thing.
yeah, that is a good thing.
But yeah, it's time to make your moves. It's time to make maybe some crazy trades that get you in the spot to win. Start looking at playoff matchups. I know I look at playoff matchups from the draft even, but I don't know. It's getting tight, and some playoffs even start this week. Some start in 2 weeks. Hopefully you don't play into Week 17, because if you do, you're an idiot. Just plain and simple, you're just an idiot.
That's a really bad decision.
There's no way around that. But anyway, Week 13 preview, we're going to go through the matchups, give you starts and sits at the end. I'm your host, Brandon Bouchard, joined here again by Brett Hamilton.
Hello!
And we are just 1 day away from heading up north to Green Bay, Wisconsin, to see the Packers take on the Buccaneers.
Never heard of her.
Green Bay, Wisconsin. She's a beautiful lady, covered in cheese and meat and beer.
And unfortunately not this year, snow.
Hey, I don't know. I haven't seen any images. Usually when it snows up there, it stays on the ground. Yeah. It just stays. It's perma-snow.
I want to see snow. We don't get a whole lot of snow down here in Tennessee in the recent few winters. Have 1 or 2 snow days, and that's about it.
Yeah, I don't know. The weather, the last time I checked the weather, it was supposed to be low is 30, high is 40 or something like that. So it's not, I don't know. I feel like we're going to get slush, if anything, and I really hate that. I'd rather it be negative than slush. Yeah. Slush is the worst.
Yeah, that's gross.
But hopefully, we're going to have a good time either way.
Yeah.
Okay. Week 13 matchups preview. Redskins-Cowboys, Thursday Night Football. Redskins are attempting to make that playoff push, while the Cowboys look completely lost at the moment.
Boy, was I wrong about Dez Bryant. I thought with Tyron Smith being back, it would immediately help Dak Prescott, because I believe that Dak Prescott is a good quarterback, but oh my gosh, he can't play football right now. What is his problem?
Clearly there is, I've always said, if the game gets put into Dak Prescott's hands, it's not going to end well. If you have Zeke to rely on, if you have a good offensive line, then you're going to be fine. Dak's not going to have to make these tough throws and tough decisions. He can just go out there and make dink and dunk throws. He's an okay quarterback. He can.
He can. He's good. He's not that much worse than he was last year.
No. He's decently accurate. He can make okay throws, but he
just looks scared or something right now.
Yeah,
I don't know what the problem is.
I don't know. One, he doesn't have receivers. Dez Bryant is not. Yeah. Like I said last week, I don't think he's a top 20 receiver. I could list 20 guys, not even from a fantasy perspective, just 20 guys I'd rather have over Dez Bryant. But where did he? I know he didn't finish. What was our bet last week? Was it top 20 or top 25?
Top 25, I think.
I know. I can't remember where he finished. I know it was outside the top 50.
Yeah, it was not good.
Casey Hayward said, "Nuh-uh."
Yeah.
Going against that boy, Casey Hayward.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's a good matchup for Redskins here. Cowboys, like I said, they're pretty much lost at the moment. So I think Kirk Cousins, good quarterback option this week.
Yep.
Piron, I like. Doxson, I like. Crowder, we're going to have to monitor. He's dealing with an ankle and knee injury, but I love him moving forward as the short yardage pass catcher.
Right.
Jordan Reed, still dealing with a hamstring injury. I still don't think he's going to be back. I think it's going to be Vernon Davis again. Granted, Vernon Davis had the letdown of the season last week, going up against the Giants and catching 0 balls. Yeah. So, I don't know, temper expectations there, but I think if Reed sits out, I think Davis is an okay tight end play this week.
Yep.
Now, the Cowboys side of the ball. Can you start Cowboys players until Zeke comes back or something changes?
You can't. I don't believe that you can start. You can't start any of the wide receivers other than possibly Dez Bryant, and that's only if you are real slim at the wide receiver.
But position. Definitely not this week. He's playing Josh. He's going to have Josh Norman on him this week. This is going to be ugly.
No, he's not done well against Josh Norman in the past. Honestly, I don't know. I don't.
Alfred Morris is the only one I consider, but
I'd still be looking for another option.
Maybe Jason Witten if you're desperate.
He's the ageless wonder.
Yeah, I mean, he especially in PPR, he gets a lot of looks, and if Dak's running around looking for dump offs, Jason Witten's probably going to be there.
Yep.
Okay, I got the Redskins winning this one, not even close.
Yes, definitely the Redskins in this one.
All right, Vikings and Falcons. Huge playoff implicating matchup between a stout Vikings defense and a red-hot Falcons offense. Case Keenum's still the guy. I don't see that changing. He's looking phenomenal at the moment. He's looking better than Matt Ryan at the moment. Yeah. Latavius Murray, he's the running back to own. Jerick McKinnon, it still remains to be seen what his role really is in this offense while Latavius Murray's healthy.
It does help whenever I think it's still going to help him whenever the Vikings are chasing points, but their defense is so good that they just haven't had to do that very often.
Yeah, maybe it happens here, but I still think Latavius Murray has a decent game.
Yeah.
Adam Thielen, love him, absolutely love him, especially over Stephon Diggs in this matchup. Diggs, I see him getting more of Desmond Trufant. Adam Thielen, I think he's matchup proof. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
I roll him out there every week. His routes, his routes are just phenomenal. He can outmaneuver anybody. Kyle Rudolph had a great game last week, 2 touchdowns, finally got back to doing I don't know what he knows, which is score touchdowns.
He's still a touchdown. He's one of those touchdown dependent tight ends. Yeah, but it's not that bad whenever he gets this many touchdowns.
Yeah. What do you think about him in this matchup?
This one's going to be kind of tough. He's definitely not the one of the ones I'm most excited about this week. But he still gets the looks. Sometimes he disappears in negative game scripts like this. The Falcons they definitely have an improving defense, but I still don't think I expect it to be kind of high scoring. I don't think the Falcons defense is going to be able to stop the Vikings as much as you might expect. And the Vikings defense is pretty good.
Yeah. I will say I think the Falcons are probably going to try to hone in on Diggs and Thielen a lot in this game. So Rudolph might have some opportunities. He's just got to take those opportunities.
Yep.
Tough matchup for the Falcons, however. But I mean they have enough weapons to exploit the Vikings defense. I was going to mention how Julio's probably going to be going up against Xavier Rhodes, but Xavier Rhodes got torched last week by Marvin Jones. And Julio Jones is matchup proof anyway. Yeah. I was just going to say you might have to temper the expectations, but don't worry about it. Ain't no thing. Tevin Coleman still must start if Devonta Freeman sits. We're going to have to monitor Freeman again. He's still in the concussion protocol. So if Freeman's out there, I think I'm fine starting both. If Freeman's not out there, Tevin Coleman, RB1 all the way, even against the Vikings defense. Now, Matt Ryan. I alluded to before that Case Keenum, I like him more than Matt Ryan, even in this game. He's been coming around. He's getting better and better, but what do you think about him? Are you willing to start him against this Vikings defense?
I don't know. It's kind of tough. I mean, it is going to be a really hard matchup for him, but he does have Julio Jones. I'm really not sure that Julio's not going to have another 100-plus yard game again.
He should every week. There is literally no one in this league that can stop Julio Jones, even when he's double covered. In a lot of games, we've seen him double covered, and he still torches people.
Yeah.
It shouldn't matter. Just get him the ball. He's bigger than anybody at the wide receiver position. He's faster than most at the wide receiver position. Hands incredible. Just strength. Easily the strongest wide receiver in the game. So I mean, it all adds up. Just get him the ball. Just get him the ball. However, I got the Vikings taking this one.
I also have the Vikings.
All right. Am I catching you at all? I feel like I had a decent week last week.
No, I just pulled it up. You did not gain any ground.
I feel like I'm.
We had different picks too. It was just they just kind of offset each other.
Man, I'm running out of time. It's not good. That's pick 'em, by the way. If we kind of rambled there.
Yeah, we are crushing Peyton though. I'll tell you that much.
Peyton has given up. Okay, Patriots and Bills. Patriots are rolling at the moment. Bills are struggling to produce on both sides of the ball. Sorry, what the heck? My notes cut off. What? My notes cut off. They did.
Okay.
Go ahead, take it.
It's a good matchup for the Patriots because, like Brandon said, the Bills have been struggling to stop people unless your name is Alex Smith last week. That was a good game, but the Bills still can't get anything going on offense. Tyrod Taylor played well again. I mean, he played well enough to win, which is what we've come to expect. He's just kind of pretty average to okay.
Better than Peterman.
Leagues better than Peterman. I mean, there's no question who's starting this week, at least. But, with the Patriots being such a high-scoring offense, I don't think Tyrod Taylor has the chops to kind of go back and forth with Tom Brady. Chris Hogan still dealing with a shoulder injury. I would love it if he would play this week.
Yeah, I still think it's kind of. I think he's very similar to Jameis Winston's shoulder injury, but obviously quarterback, receiver, throwing arm, non-throwing arm. It's apples and oranges, but I still think he's a few weeks away. Deion Lewis, Rex Burkhead, only Pats running backs worth rostering.
Yep.
We discussed that in the last show. Which Bills are you willing to start? Patriots have turned things around to be a somewhat formidable defense.
Yeah, that's true. They're not the defense that they started the year with. They're not one of those teams that you can start everyone and feel confident on offense. I'm still starting Shady because he's good.
Enough said. Start him because he's good.
Yeah, Charles Clay. I don't know.
If you're desperate at tight end, I can see it.
I can see it.
Obviously, I think the most exciting player out of Buffalo right now, Zay Jones, actually showed something last week.
That's true. Yeah.
I don't expect him to have that great of a week this week.
No.
The Patriots.
It's not a great passing offense, and that's why I just kind of shy away from those borderline wide receivers.
No, I'll just go ahead and say Patriots are going to run train over them. It's not going to be good.
Yeah, that is very true.
All right.
I do have the Patriots.
Before we get into the next matchup, I forgot to mention the beverage we are drinking. I don't think we've had a beer in a few episodes, actually.
Nope, I don't think we have.
But this one's from Samuel Adams. Always good, Samuel Adams. Cherry wheat beer.
It's
crisp and slightly sweet.
It's crisp and slightly sweet.
It's
crispy. It's cherry. Yeah, it's definitely cherry.
I will say, because obviously, like when you first put it down, I was like, I'm never really a big fan of cherry flavored things. I like cherries, but not cherry flavored things. And then you mix that with a beer. I usually if I don't like something, like a flavor or something, and you put it in a beer, I'm really not gonna like it. You don't mess with a man's beer flavors. But no, when I first took a sip, I was like, ugh, no.
I had a similar reaction.
No, but actually, it's like I've never had a beer. Maybe because I'm really, really hungry at this moment. I don't my brain is going. I mean, that has nothing to do with
beer. No, it was better than the initial reaction that I had as it goes on. I'm not a huge fan of cherry beers.
I'm not a fan of sweet beers, really, but
it
is
really
crisp.
Sweet. Yeah, slightly.
And slightly sweet. I like the crisp and the sweet together. It's a good combo.
The crisp is my favorite part about it. But it's good. It got better. I'll give it a pass.
It gets better. It gets better the drunker you get.
Yeah, that's it.
By the time we have 5 of these, it'll be my favorite beer of all time.
Yep.
Okay, 49ers, Bears. Yay. Sure.
What? Yeah, I guess.
But C.J. Beathard's dealing with injuries.
Not the game of the week.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know. It is football. Anything could happen.
It is Jimmy G time.
Yeah, C.J. Beathard dealing with injuries, so Jimmy Garoppolo will get the start. It's just a wait and see kind of game with him. I'm not going to make any bold predictions with Goodwin being a top tier guy.
Yeah.
But this game, I expect a huge game from both Carlos Hyde and Jordan Howard.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're going to run wild. Jordan Howard had an awful game last week.
Terrible.
Carlos Hyde, awful game last week.
But Jordan Howard played arguably the best team in football. So that's kind of a drop in the bucket for him. I mean,
that's what both of them.
Don't feel bad starting him this week.
No. Both of them had tough matchups.
Yeah.
And Jordan Howard, we've seen him get close to 30 carries. We've seen Carlos Hyde. His targets. He's had like 13 targets in like back-to-back games for a running back. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But so starting Carlos Hyde, starting Jordan Howard. Anyone else besides those two?
Not really.
Like, even if you're desperate, I don't even see anyone that I'd like.
If you are super maybe if you feel like you have to get a win, one of the big play wide receivers in the league is Marquise Goodwin.
New quarterback, so maybe it'll be.
I mean, you're stepping out on a limb and taking a chance, but it could pay off huge dividends. So I could see it if you're desperate for a win, like you're on the edge. You like really have to win this week. You don't have a high floor type of player instead. I can see it.
Yeah. I got the 49ers winning this game.
I think Jimmy G's going to get his first W.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be him, though. I think both of these teams, I don't know who's going to get them. I'm not going to say Carlos Hyde and Jordan Howard are going to get him, but I think both of these teams have at least 3 rushing touchdowns apiece.
Yeah, I definitely see
I think it's going to be big ground game.
Yep.
All right, Texans and Titans. Texans are struggling to stay in the playoff race while the Titans continue to get wins despite playing mediocre. Good matchup for Lamar Miller and DeAndre Hopkins. Are you starting anyone else for the Texans?
For the Texans? No.
Yeah. I know Braxton Miller actually got. I kind of want to mention him in very, very deep leagues, maybe PPR, but he got like a lot of looks this past week, so maybe a deep league play. I know Lamar Miller got banged up in that game last week.
Yeah,
he
terrifying.
Came back, so I don't think much of that. Alfred Blue I still love as a handcuff if you're looking for that. Titans side of the ball. Is Marcus Mariota worth starting anymore? 0 20-point games this year.
No.
0.
No, I mean you can't.
I can list a ton of people on the way. I guarantee you can pick up on most waiver wires.
Yeah.
Case Keenum's on a lot of waiver wires. Josh McCown's on a lot of waiver wires. Tyrod Taylor's on a lot of waiver wires.
Yeah.
Brett Hundley. These next 2 games, not the worst matchups.
No,
Would you rather start him over Mariota at this point?
Yeah. I mean, Mariota's just not getting anything done fantasy-wise.
That's crazy. I never thought I'd have to ask that question. Like, honestly, that one's very close for me. I still would probably go Mariota, but the bar for quarterback, like a good quarterback week, you have to get 20 points. Yeah. That's what you want from a quarterback.
Less than that, and you're going to have a really tough time chasing points with the rest of your team.
It's pitiful. Deshaun Kaiser. I'd rather have Kaiser.
Yeah.
At least he's actually running. That's why I think Marcus Mariota's production has gone down so much. He's not running at all. Not at all. And granted, he's had
a page out of Cam Newton's book.
Yeah, he's had weapons like fall off. Like he's had weapons as receivers and running backs be injured.
Corey Davis has really let me down too. By the way,
I have no problem with Corey Davis. I think he's doing fine. I think Marcus Mariota's the problem.
Yeah. I mean, fantasy wise, yeah.
I really, really pray we don't look back at that draft where Mariota and Winston went 1-2, and we don't look back and be like, man, what happened to these guys?
Yeah.
Like, I really hope that's not the case. Because
they had some of the brightest futures I've seen.
Oh, yeah, without question. So, this matchup, not really fun to start DeMarco Murray or Derrick Henry. DeMarco Murray last week, if he didn't have the dink and dunk John Kuhn, Aaron Kowski type touchdown from the fullback position, we wouldn't even be talking about.
After Derrick Henry got that, literally put the team on his back the entire way down the field, DeMarco Murray gets the 1-yard touchdown.
Yeah, that's what when they first got Derrick Henry, I was like, because obviously they had DeMarco, but I was like, you know, it'd be really exciting to see DeMarco Murray and Derrick Henry and Marcus Mariota in like a wishbone formation, like an old school, just hard nosed running wishbone, and that was kind of, they were in an offset eye, but on that touchdown. But
yeah,
I don't know. I don't think you can really confidently start DeMarco or Derrick Henry.
No,
I've been saying I'm not going to give the reins and all the glory to Derrick Henry just yet because DeMarco's still there.
Right.
So it's a nasty situation while both of them are still on the Titans.
Yeah, it's gross.
All right, Titans pass catchers, rank them.
Is Rashard Matthews still going to be out?
No, I think he'll play.
I'll probably put him number 1, then probably Delaney Walker, Corey Davis, Eric Decker.
Eric Decker. I'm slowly. We've seen the other Titans rookie, Taywan Taylor. He's actually gotten quite a few looks, even more than Decker recently.
Yeah, Decker's pretty much fallen off the
Poor
board.
Decker. He is just a waste now. There, when he first got signed, I was like, man, he's gonna score.
Yeah, I thought
close to 10 touchdowns this year.
Well, I also thought Marcus Mariota would play better too. So
I had Marcus Mariota. If it wasn't for Terrell Pryor being the bust he is, Mariota would easily be in that category. Yeah. He's like people had him in the top 5 at the quarterback position. He's not even top 20.
No,
not even top 20.
It's terrible.
Anyway,
Case Keenum's better than him.
I still have the Titans winning though. After all the Titans hate.
It was tough, but Tom Savage is just so bad.
Garbage.
He just turns the ball over so much. I think, it's going to be the Titans.
Yeah, I will say, I just want, before we move on, DeAndre Hopkins, obviously, he's matchup proof.
He's a freak.
He's the closest thing to Julio we have in the league.
I fully agree with that.
But this what he's doing this year, obviously we had Deshaun for a while, and that was incredible. That's the best thing DeAndre's had since Hoyer, and that was garbage, really. But even with Tom Savage, he's doing well. This just shows how bad Brock Osweiler was last year.
That's true. That's very true.
He should not have. There is, honestly, say what you will about the guy, but there is no reason. Like, I could go on and on. Obviously, these guys have different reasons for not being in the NFL right now, but you could go on and on. Like Tim Tebow, Colin Kaepernick, there's no reason those two guys should not be in the NFL over Brock Osweiler. Brock freaking Osweiler. I'm sick and tired of it.
Yeah, he's bad.
Okay, Broncos, Dolphins, Paxton Lynch, talking about the current team also I was on, but Paxton Lynch may have blown his chance last week to finally get that job. We saw the emotions on the sideline. He was hurt, and he was kind of like that might have been it.
Yeah, that's tough to see.
Yeah, it is.
He got put into a bad situation.
Oh yeah, it's Broncos still struggling to find a QB really, but Trevor Siemian looks to start this week.
It's definitely an upgrade for Demaryius Thomas owners.
Yeah, Demaryius Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders. I think it's great for them, especially Demaryius. I will say, I think I'm gonna ask, what are you doing with C.J. Anderson? Because I think this Trevor Siemian, him being the quarterback again, we saw what C.J. Anderson did when he was a quarterback. He's more of the pocket passer.
Yeah.
He's more of, he can be mobile, but I don't know. It definitely seemed like C.J. Anderson was more a part of the offense when Trevor Siemian was the quarterback. So what are you doing with it, guy?
Well, just based on recent performance behavior, you can't comfortably start him. I would love to say that you can roll him out there because he's playing the Dolphins, which is a great matchup, but you don't know how he's going to be in the offense. I mean, they just switched quarterbacks again.
Yeah.
So that's a really risky play in my opinion. You don't have to drop him. But you maybe just want to hold him just for this week and see what that offense looks like with Trevor Siemian back under center.
Yeah. Dolphins side of the ball. Dolphins expected to be without Damian Williams. Are you willing to start Kenyon Drake? This might be a tough matchup against the Broncos.
It's a tough matchup, but honestly, I think you can. I mean, he's involved in the passing game as well.
I love him in the passing game.
He's got the huge big playability. I have no problem starting Kenyon Drake.
PPR all the way, baby. Yeah, PPR all the way. Yeah. Devontae Parker, we said he's droppable, especially. I don't think Cutler plays again this year. I think Cutler's played his last game of football. He's going to be in the booth with Romo pretty soon. Yeah. But Matt Moore, he only has eyes for Kenny Stills. Devontae Parker is useless otherwise.
Yeah.
It's not really a good matchup for any Dolphins player, so I would stray away. Yeah. I got the Broncos winning this one, though.
I have the Broncos. Yeah.
All right, Chiefs and Jets. Chiefs are continuously collapsing while not featuring their star players for some ungodly reason.
Who's that star player, Brandon?
All of them. Every single one of them. While the Jets are actually looking somewhat decent, they're putting up points behind Josh McCown. Josh McCown, I mean, he's a viable streamer. Like this matchup's
he's
one
of the top streamers for this week for me.
Yeah, a lot of people used to be scared of the Chiefs, but I don't think you can anymore. Granted, they are getting Revis. Revis will be back this week.
Island.
Darrelle Revis and
48-year-old Darrelle Revis.
Yeah, I don't
know what that was about. Like,
I don't know what to expect.
He wasn't good. Like in his past 2 years.
I mean, he got older.
Yeah, I know. And as he was getting older, he got worse.
I don't think he cared because he was on the Jets. Honestly,
that's true.
I think I don't know. He's never really been like the greatest attitude kind of guy.
No, he's never had that.
I don't know. We'll just see what happens.
It was a very surprise sign.
It's definitely an upgrade from what they had. I'd like to think, but we'll just have to see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll see how old he is.
So, like I said, McCown, viable streamer. Ryan Anderson, I think you start him every week. I don't care what the matchup is.
Ryan Anderson?
Yeah. Robbie Anderson.
I was like...
Autocorrect. There we go.
I was like, Ryan Anderson? Who is that?
Ryan Anderson.
Did I completely miss somebody?
I don't even know a Ryan Anderson. Robbie. Thank you. I'm glad you pointed that out.
Yes, Robbie Anderson is a must start every week. I'm going to see if there's a Ryan Anderson that you can play in fantasy right now.
Well, please do not pick him up and start him. Austin Seferian-Jenkins, I think he's a tight end 1 every week. Easily, he's had arguably 4 or 5 touchdowns taken away from him this year. He had this past week. He had it was very close to a catch. A lot of people could have argued that it was. He had the Patriots one taken away. He had a petty.
He gets a lot taken away.
He does. I mean, just because he's a big guy, I guess. I don't know. But Austin Seferian-Jenkins, I have no problem playing him every week. Jets running back situation is messy. I wouldn't really start anybody. Not even Forte, not Powell. He's disappointed me this year. I thought he was gonna. I thought he was gonna finally get that job.
I have pretty high hopes for him. But,
yeah. Chiefs side of the ball. All the Chiefs are suffering under Andy Reid's play calling. It's not pretty until they get something going again. Then I don't know. It's gonna be. You're gonna have to start them because the names. Obviously, Kareem Hunt, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, you kind of have to start these guys, it's not. I don't know. You're probably going to be disappointed in some of the weeks until they figure something out.
Mm-hmm.
Kareem Hunt, as I mentioned in the last show, matchups going forward are incredible. He's got one of the best running back matchups from here on out. So you're still rolling with him. Honestly, the past couple weeks, he's just been like an RB3 flex position kind of guy, but.
Yeah.
It's not the best. Did you find out Ryan Anderson?
There was no Ryan Anderson available to pick up in fantasy.
Oh well. Sorry for all those people out there who thought Ryan Anderson was a must start every week. Anyway, even with all these Chiefs struggles, I think they're gonna figure it out at some point. So I'm rolling with the Chiefs still.
I'm gonna go Jets in this one.
I was going back and forth, very very close.
I just don't have any faith in Andy Reid's play calling.
Dude, I like the Jets moving forward.
Yeah.
In the next couple of years, if they get a few more defensive players and then actually get a quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, McCown's fine, but he's 38. He's not going to be there.
No, he's not the quarterback of the future.
Yeah, I mean, they could easily have a decent draft next year, and I'm not going to say competing with the Patriots, but they'll be winning games.
No, especially if they pick up Ryan Anderson.
Yes. Please go find Ryan Anderson. Maybe there's a college player in it. There has to be. There's a billion colleges.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. God, we're going kind of slow today. Pick this up. Colts and Jags. Seems like every other week a Colt is worth starting, but you really can't risk it, especially in a tough matchup like this.
No.
Even like T.Y. maybe 1 week. I don't like him here, though.
I'm not playing
Frank Gore, no. He had a touchdown last week, but still no.
Yeah.
Blake Bortles, I think he's a fine streamer. He did okay last week. He was one of our sleepers.
Mm-hmm.
Leonard Fournette, he's had some limitations. Are you like with the ankle and then his usage? They've used T.J. Yeldon quite a bit. Are you worried?
Not really. No. I mean,
are you more worried about them limiting Leonard Fournette? or are you more worried about like the play calling and limitations of Kareem Hunt at the moment?
I'd be more worried about Kareem Hunt because he's been struggling a little bit longer. When Fournette, I mean, they know what he can do. I mean, yeah, he may still be dealing with kind of an injury. We're not really sure about that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if he's healthy and he shows them that he can carry the load like he was doing, that they'll just go right back to it.
Yeah, I fully if he is 100%, which that's why I don't think he is.
Yeah.
I think that's why they're limiting him.
And that could be it. And those are the things that you'll really never know. But chances are, if you have Leonard Fournette, you can't afford to sit him. So
very true. Marquise Lee looks to bounce back from last week's matchup with Patrick Peterson, where he was shut down completely. Yeah. Colts have actually been.
Patrick Peterson did not shut down DeAndre Hopkins 2 weeks ago.
Well, that's he's top 3 talent. So we talked about that. Colts have actually been very, very good against number 1 wide receivers. I don't think they've allowed a touchdown to a number 1 all year.
Wow.
So I still don't know. Those stats are kind of man. There's not really like a single guy doing this to the number 1,
right.
But I don't know if you have a better option. Maybe it'd have to be a significantly better option for me to say that. But D.D. Westbrook, I feel like I'm going to make this like the Joe Mixon thing. I called Joe Mixon's breakout for a couple weeks, and then it finally happened. D.D. Westbrook, I've been saying it for like 2 weeks now.
So it might be this one.
So this is the one. I'm going to say it. D.D. Westbrook breaks out in this game.
All right.
He goes for over 100 and at least 1 touchdown. Jags win this game easily.
That's a big one. But yeah, I think the Jags are definitely going to win.
All right, Lions and Ravens. Matchup has major playoff implications for both teams. Both teams are about middle of the pack right now. I expect a very, very low-scoring game, however. Matthew Stafford's dealing with an ankle injury. We're going to have to monitor that. Marvin Jones, Golden Tate, who do you like more? It's a tough Ravens secondary.
Yeah. I think I'm still going to lean towards Golden Tate. It's been the Marvin Jones show for a couple weeks now.
Yeah.
But Golden Tate's still been involved.
Yeah, it's hard. It's harder for a lot of teams, or the Ravens make it hard for a lot of teams. They have Eric Weddle on the covering over the top of Jimmy Smith most of the time, and that's not even fair. That one's not fair, and they disguise it so well. So Marvin Jones is the deep threat guy, and if you
that's why I would lean towards Golden Tate, especially this week.
Yeah. Ravens. They have a top tier defense, so I'd stray away from Lions, honestly, this week if I could help it.
Yeah.
Alex Collins, he's getting the clear number 1 role in that backfield. Even with Danny Woodhead back, Alex Collins got a ton of work this past week.
Yeah.
Danny Woodhead, I still like more than Buck Allen. Buck Allen got the touchdown last week too, but Woodhead, especially in PPR, he's gonna get catches.
A lot of people are gonna be down on Danny Woodhead after this past game. Didn't really do what you wanted him to do, but I really like him in this matchup, especially. The Lions struggle with pass catching running backs, and I think he's a good flex option, especially in PPR.
All right, I got the Ravens winning this one.
I have the Lions.
Ooh, my comeback right here. Buccaneers and Packers. Here we go. Game of the week. I'm calling it.
Guess who I'm picking?
Game of the week. Lambeau, we're coming to see you.
Yeah.
I want to make sure all of you guys follow us on like all of social media, Twitter, social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at the 423 Football, because we're going to be tweeting up a storm while we're up there. We're going to have pictures and everything, so it's going to be a fun time. But the game, both teams still fighting for a wild card spot, not completely out yet. Packers started to turn things around last week. They looked pretty good against the Steelers, and the Bucks could have Jameis back this week, maybe.
I'm not even getting my hopes up.
Yeah, I'd lean towards Fitzpatrick still getting the nod, but I don't know.
I'm gonna love seeing Ryan Fitzpatrick start quarterback for my favorite team.
Hey, we'll be back. We'll be back next year to see plenty more games.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's a terrific matchup for both teams, in my opinion. Defenses aren't that great. They've been I mean, they have nice players. They haven't really shown that much so far this year.
Buccaneers definitely have the talent, but man, there's
something's
wrong.
Something's
terribly wrong.
They need Shiano back. That's another story. We won't go down that road.
Keep Shiano out.
Oh God. Okay, no, we're not going there. Ty Montgomery dealing with a rib injury for the past couple weeks. We're gonna have to monitor that. Could be back this week. Jamal Williams, I think, is a must start if Montgomery's out.
Yeah.
Without question.
I would definitely agree there.
Yeah. Devontae Adams, consistent wide receiver 2 every week, maybe even wide receiver 1 some weeks. Yeah. But this week, it's a good matchup. Obviously, Jordy's still not getting that many targets. Devontae Adams is a clear guy. Randall Cobb got the touchdown last week. That was it was just a blown coverage, kind of a fluke thing. But Devontae Adams is still getting just a ton of looks from Brett Hundley.
Yep.
Buccaneers side of the ball. Doug Martin dealing with a concussion. We're going to have to monitor that. If he does play, again, great matchup. Yep. I think it could be a big game for the running backs if he plays. Jacquizz Rodgers, do you think he's the guy to own if Martin's out?
Yeah. We saw whenever Martin did go out this past game. Yeah, Peyton Barber had the 2 touchdowns, which, I mean, he will be involved. Yeah, I know. He'll be involved. But Jacquizz Rodgers had more touches than him. He just didn't get the touchdown. So I think Jacquizz Rodgers is the safer back to own.
Yeah. You're obviously starting Mike Evans. Starting him every week. Yep. Any other Bucs pass catcher? I know Green Bay. I mean, Green Bay's been tough against tight ends, so maybe looking at Deshaun Jackson as an option.
Yeah, I would. I'd play Deshaun Jackson. As far as the tight ends, since the Buccaneers have O.J. Howard and Cameron Brate, who have both shown that they can produce good games, I feel like one of them will do well and one of them won't.
See, I think Cameron Brate's going to have the bad game. I think O.J. Howard might actually do something. Yeah. They spread him out a little more than Brate does.
Yeah, he's a little bit faster.
Yeah,
a little quicker on the feet than all bucket feet Brate.
Brett Hundley, Ryan Fitzpatrick. You think either of them are streaming options this week?
I can see it. I can see it. I don't know. It's tough. Because both of them have made mistakes. I mean, Brett Hundley just came off a game where he made very few mistakes. But both of them have thrown their fair share of interceptions. So it makes me want to kind of shy away from that. But I don't know. I don't think that I would stream either one of them. They wouldn't be at the top of my list. Well, to put it this way, I'd rather stream McCown over both of these guys.
All right. I got the Packers winning. What do you know?
You don't even have to ask.
Yeah. What do you know?
Who I'm picking.
I was holding out hope. Maybe. Maybe.
Oh yeah.
All right. Browns and Chargers. Browns facing the only team they beat last season. So maybe history repeats itself here. You never know. The big news here: Josh Gordon is going to be back this week, playing in Week 13. We haven't seen him for we haven't seen him in 3 years. 3 years now. He's looked good in practice. Everything has seemed positive, but I will say this is not the best matchup to start things off with.
No, the Chargers they're coming back fiery.
Chargers defense looks good. Casey Hayward's arguably the best corner in football right now.
Yeah.
And that's most likely who Josh Gordon's going to be going up against. So, I don't know. I don't know if I feel comfortable starting Josh Gordon yet.
No, I would not. I wouldn't start him. You have no idea. I mean, that is such a risky move. I mean, it could blow up huge, and you could have a fantastic fantasy day, but you also run the risk of it just not going well at all.
Yeah,
he has an extremely low floor.
I don't know. I feel like he has an okay floor, like a decent,
really?
a good 4 or 5 point floor. I mean, that's not
okay. Well, I mean, I can see that.
I mean, I don't.
They're gonna pass the ball.
Yeah. I don't see a complete dud coming.
No,
but I do agree. It could be. I don't know. I'm just excited to see it. That's all I
mean, I guess so.
Yeah, Corey Coleman. He's been looking pretty good the past couple weeks. He'll probably be. Chargers have enough good secondary players. They got Desmond King, who's been looking fantastic.
Yeah,
that secondary might rival the Broncos next year when Jason Verrett's back and they have Hayward, Verrett, and King. My word, but Brown side of the ball, sticking with him. Isaiah Crowell, an okay desperate play, maybe. I mean, he's still getting quite a bit of work. But Chargers, I mean, they're a tough matchup for the passing game, but not the greatest against the run. So Crowell might be okay.
Yeah.
Like I said, desperate.
Yeah, I actually don't really like Isaiah Crowell that much. This game, he's been kind of he's had a couple of good games stringing together, but I really like the Chargers defense and what they're putting together on that side of the ball.
Yeah. Now on the Chargers side of the ball, I'm saying start everybody. You're starting Melvin Gordon, Phillip Rivers, great start this week. Keenan Allen, I think he's going to have a great game. Hunter Henry, I expect to have a good tight end game. I know he's been slacking the past couple weeks. He got in the end zone last week. So
he did, yeah. Well, it's been the same story this whole year with Hunter Henry. It's just one game he'll put up an absolute dud.
Yep.
And then the next game he'll score a touchdown.
Yep.
And yards.
But I think he has an okay game here.
Yep.
I do not expect history to repeat itself. Chargers get the win.
Yep, me too.
Giants and Raiders. This might be worse than the Niners-Bears. Honestly, it might be worse than the Niners-Bears. This game could be a game without Odell Beckham, Sterling Shepard, Amari Cooper, Michael Crabtree, and Eli Manning.
Who's playing?
I don't. Honestly, I guarantee every single one of the college games, half of the teams in conference championships in college this upcoming week could probably rival one of these teams or put up at least a touchdown on them.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I don't know. Geno Smith is expected to get the start, so I'm avoiding starting any Giants pass catchers. Just not at all. Now in this game, both these teams are kind of similar, like in the boats they're in. But Marshawn Lynch, he got a touchdown last week. Williams Darkwa, he's looked okay the past couple weeks. Who do you like more in this game, Lynch or Darkwa?
I actually like Williams Darkwa in this game. The Raiders just aren't showing a whole lot of signs of life on defense. And Marshawn Lynch is kind of doing just enough to get by at this point.
It's a good matchup for Lynch, I will say that.
Yep, it is. I still lean towards Darkwa.
All right. Obviously, if Amari's out, we already know Crabtree's going to be out. Seth Roberts is I guess a sneaky streaming option.
Yeah.
On the Giants side of the ball, I don't think anyone is worth it with Geno Smith. I really don't. I wouldn't. Even if Sterling Shepard's back, I don't expect anything from him. If Evan Ingram, Evan Ingram, I don't expect anything from him as well. Tight ends, I think. Talking about tight ends, Evan Ingram, don't expect anything there.
Nope.
Jared Cook, I think he has a fantastic game this week.
Yeah. Fire him up all the way.
Yeah. Giants, we know what they give up to tight ends.
Yeah.
And Jared Cook has looked phenomenal over the past couple weeks.
And he might be one of the only pass catchers on the field.
Very true. Very true. So I got the Raiders winning this one.
I do have the Raiders.
Panthers and Saints. Huge matchup to decide the leader of the division. I expect a decent amount of points in this game. On both sides of the ball, we got two quarterbacks that have been pretty good. Drew Brees has kind of been somewhat of a disappointment, however.
Yeah, he's not the typical Drew Brees we're used to playing in fantasy.
Yeah, but Cam Newton or Drew Brees, who would you rather have in this game?
I'm going to go Drew Brees. Cam Newton, if you watched this film last week, his accuracy was
atrocious.
It was so bad. Like, we know, I think everybody knows.
We said it before.
That Cam Newton has accuracy issues. Just watch this game and you'll see what accuracy issues looks like. It was terrible.
He literally, Christian McCaffrey on just little dump off routes, just little swing routes. Like, he'd have a good 10 yards of separation from anybody. And Newton would throw it 5 yards, like, over his head at 100 miles per hour.
Yeah, I really don't.
How can he not get that through his head?
No,
I'm not gonna.
That confuses me, but that's why I like Drew Brees more. I mean, I just think, I just think Drew Brees is a better quarterback. I mean, the Panthers have a good defense, but I still have faith that Drew Brees is going to complete more passes.
Yeah, Mark Ingram, Alvin Kamara, still both must starts every single week. Not even question. Alvin Kamara is tearing the NFL a new one.
Wow,
my word!
I would assume that he would Do you think he'll be Rookie of the Year?
Without question. Unless Kareem Hunt goes off the next couple weeks, then
I don't even think so because Kamara's just been unbelievable and he's been super consistent.
Oh yeah. Michael Thomas, he's been up and down, but I think he's still a must start. Even it might not be the best matchup, but I think you're still rolling him out there. Christian McCaffrey, Devin Funchess, okay plays. Saints defense they've been formidable. They're no Panthers defense, but I think Funchess and McCaffrey, they're decent plays. Greg Olsen, dealing with soreness in his foot. We're going to have to monitor that. I expect him to go out there and play, actually.
If he does play, the
expectations?
Yeah, I mean...
They're not high.
Like I said, he's not... I could risk playing him. I mean...
No.
It could be just like this past week where he plays a few drives and then he's out the rest of the game.
Yeah, and Saints have been good against tight ends.
It's not a good matchup in the first place. I don't know that I would confidently start him this week. It certainly wouldn't be confidently.
Yeah. I am actually picking the Saints at home.
Oh, yeah. Saints
all the way.
Yeah.
Rams and Cardinals. Rams are red hot at the moment, and the Cardinals are coming off a surprising win over the Jags.
Yep.
It's a somewhat tough matchup for Todd Gurley, but, you're still rolling him out there. But, Cardinals, especially at home, have really, really shut down running backs.
Their defense is phenomenal at home.
I don't know what it's just night and day, I guess. But Jared Goff, I think he's a perfectly good streamer in this matchup.
Yep.
Sammy Watkins versus Patrick Peterson, shut him down. Yeah. You can't start him. He had a good week last week, but no, I don't like him this week.
No.
Cooper Kupp, however.
Yep.
Cooper Kupp, I love.
Yeah, me too.
Love. Cardinals have been horrible against number 2 wide receivers.
Yeah.
And Cooper Kupp, he had over 100 yards last week. He got tons of targets. I think he's great for this week.
Yep.
One more Ram I want to mention. Gerald Everett, he got a little bit more work this past week. If you're really desperate, maybe a sneaky PPR tight end play, Gerald Everett could be an option.
Yeah.
On the Cardinals side of the ball, are you starting any Cardinals? Larry Fitzgerald, I can see he might be the only one. But anyone else?
He is the only one for me.
Yeah. Actually, I won't say that. I'll take that back. I'll get to that once we get to our starts and sits.
Whew.
But Ricky Seals-Jones, if he keeps getting targets, another good tight end play.
Yep.
Honestly, this could be a good tight end game. Gerald Everett, Ricky Seals-Jones, sneaky tight ends, maybe. Yep. I got the Rams winning.
I have the Rams.
All right. Eagles and Seahawks, Sunday Night Football.
This is going to be a good Sunday Night Football game.
It's exciting on paper, but, the Eagles are arguably the best team in football, while the Seahawks, they can't seem to get back to form after dealing with countless injuries.
Yeah.
What do you expect from this game? The Eagles are playing lights out on both sides of the ball, and Seahawks defense is nothing special at the moment.
Yeah, I think the Eagles are going to score, a lot of points.
There you go.
It's gonna be a good game for them. They could put up a lot of points on just about any defense in the league. I feel like the few that they would struggle with is maybe the Vikings.
Is that it?
maybe the Jags. I don't know. Well, not really. Blaine Gabbert just beat them.
Torched them. Or not torched them, but yeah.
No, he didn't. He didn't enough to win.
Eagles are...
I don't think you have to worry about anyone that the Eagles are playing at this point in time.
Yeah. Now, from the QB position, both QBs on both sides of the ball, I think they're 1-2 in fantasy, actually, right now.
Breaking news.
Again?
Yeah. Michael Crabtree suspension reduced to 1 game.
What about Talib's?
Nothing so far.
Whoa.
I
didn't expect that.
Know.
Maybe the chain thing, ripping the chain off, actually had something to do with that.
Well, if you read, did you read what they the statement that they sent to each one of them for why they did? They listed every single thing that they saw on tape that they did.
Yeah.
It sounds like something out of a movie. I think one of the worst things that happened that might kill Aqib Talib and his
ripping the helmet off.
Was ripping the helmet off and then throwing it at Michael Crabtree.
Yeah, but I don't see how you just
No, I don't know.
I think they
both deserve 2 games, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think you could. I don't think you could feel good about taking the suspension down a notch for one of those players because they both just absolutely lost.
Well, I mean, granted, if it remains to be seen, we haven't got any news on Aqib Talib yet. But if his is still 2 and Crabtree's is 1, then that's a little. I don't know. Just it's
more punishment issues that the NFL has.
It's just inconsistencies. I don't like it. But anyway, where were we? Carson Wentz, Russell Wilson. I think they're 1-2 in fantasy right now at the quarterback position. Which one do you like more in this game?
Carson Wentz.
I do too.
North Dakota tough. Carson Wentz. He's just getting it done on every single level.
Yeah. Obviously, it's a tough matchup here, but I think you're still playing Doug Baldwin, Jimmy Graham.
Yeah.
Anyone else for the Seahawks? I mean, running back situation's a mess.
If you're playing PPR, I could understand why you would play J.D. McKissick because he is getting targets and that increases his floor for PPR. But other than that, no. Mm-mm.
All right. Zach Ertz, Alshon Jeffrey. I think they're okay plays. I know people see Seahawks defense and panic, but it should be fine.
Yeah.
Eagles running back situation might actually be crazier than the Patriots.
At this point, they have more options. Yeah.
They use more.
Yeah. It's similar because both situations are working for those teams.
Well, yeah. I mean, they know how to get things done, but for fantasy perspective, it's hard to predict.
Yeah.
But at least the Patriots, we've narrowed them down to 2. They've been narrowed down to Deion Lewis and Rex Burkhead. Eagles, they use LeGarrette Blount, who's actually coming along pretty nicely. Jay Ajayi was like the least used last week. He got the long touchdown. Should have been touchdown.
If he would have just held on to that ball.
Yeah. Corey Clement, they absolutely love him. So I don't know.
I think they all have their specific roles in that offense, and it spells trouble for fantasy owners.
I don't like starting any. I really don't.
I mean,
even Jay Ajayi, I don't like starting him.
You can't start Jay Ajayi at this point. He's not getting the workload,
especially here. Seahawks have been okay. Their secondary's been butchered, but they're running.
I think you can definitely find a better flex option for Jay Ajayi, which he's definitely no RB2.
No, but I have the Eagles winning this game.
The Eagles, yep.
All right, last matchup, Steelers and Bengals on Monday night. Important divisional matchup if the Bengals want to stay in the playoff hunt. You know which Steelers you're starting, but it is on the road, so if you have a better option, would you avoid Big Ben?
I'm sitting Antonio Brown.
No, you're not. But Big Ben, would you consider sitting him? He's had back-to-back 28-plus point games. But
no, I'm playing him.
Playing him?
Yeah, I don't like the Bengals very much right now. I know Joe Mixon just had a great game, but as far as I don't think they have a top tier defense that can really shut down Antonio Brown. Juju Smith-Schuster, if he's
hopefully, we're gonna have to monitor that.
But even if he's out, Martavis Bryant just came off a really big game as well. So I don't have any problem playing Big Ben this week.
All right, on the Bengals side of the ball. Joe Mixon had a breakout game last week. Do you expect more of the same in this game?
I think the game script may not work in his favor, but he did have the receptions last week, which makes me hopeful that even if they are in the negative game script, he's still going to be involved. I think you still have to play him.
Yeah, I mean, the touches are there.
Yeah, that's the point.
That the workload's there. It's just whether the production is going to continue to be there.
And the Steelers' defense did not look great against the Packers.
No, they did not. AJ Green, you're rolling him out there.
Yeah.
Steelers have been tough. AJ Green didn't do well last time they faced the Steelers, so just maybe temper expectations, but I have the Steelers winning this one easily.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Okay, starts and sits of the week. Here we go. Start of the week at QB position. Who you got?
Old man Phillip Rivers versus the Browns. I'll just leave it at that.
All right. I'm going with Kirk Cousins against Dallas. Dallas
it.
is in shambles. Kirk Cousins and the Redskins are looking pretty good, so I'm liking Kirk Cousins.
The Cowboys need Sean Lee so bad.
Yeah, they need many things.
They need a lot of pieces on defense, but Sean Lee runs that defense.
Yeah, very true. Running back, who you got?
I've got Orleans Darkwa versus the Raiders. I think he's going to have a really good game. I don't like the Raiders this week. Their defense is definitely far from top tier. I think Orleans Darkwa is going to have a good game, especially since they're playing Geno Smith. I don't feel like a lot of points are going to come through the air.
My running back start of the week, Jordan Howard, playing San Fran. San Fran, they got a new quarterback. The game script's going to be a lot different than what it was last week for the Bears.
So the 49ers just have a terrible run defense.
That too. I think Jordan Howard gets close to 30 touches. I think he gets over 100 yards in the end zone. Very good game for Jordan Howard. Wide receiver standouts. I'm going with...
Standouts?
Yes, starts. Standouts.
They will stand out.
They will. This man will stand out. Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams playing Tampa Bay. Obviously, he's done this countless weeks, even without Aaron Rodgers. Brett Hundley is very, very fond of Devontae Adams. Bucks secondary has been they've had holes in it all year. Yeah. So I think Devontae Adams is a big game. Hopefully we'll see it live.
Well, I don't know if I can say hopefully. But, I think there's a chance.
Yeah.
I'm personally sitting all of my Packers players, but that's just me.
Give me Jamal.
Yeah, we have a whole 14 hours to talk about that. My start of the week at the wide receiver position is Jamison Crowder versus the Cowboys because, like we said,
love it.
The Cowboys are a terrible defense.
Love it.
And Jamison Crowder has looked really good.
Yeah. Tight end position. I got Austin Seferian-Jenkins going up against Kansas City.
Kansas City.
I think Seferian-Jenkins is a must-play from here on out at the tight end position, unless you have a better option, unless you have like Ertz or somebody. But I think he's right up there with most of those guys. McCown's looking good.
If you have Ertz, why wouldn't you be trying to trade ASJ?
Yeah, or Ertz if you can get more.
Yeah, but, I mean that's true.
But in this matchup, love Austin Seferian-Jenkins.
Yeah. My tight end start of the week, especially if Amari Cooper sits, is Jared Cook versus the Giants. I think that is going to be a fantastic game for Jared Cook.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be one of the few pass catchers on the field for the Raiders because everyone is either hurt or suspended. And it's the Giants. You always start tight ends against the Giants because they can't cover that position very well.
Very true. Defensive start, I got the Jags going up against the Colts. Enough said.
Yeah. I mean, I understand that. I'm gonna stick with the. I've got we have a lot of Redskins players in our start category for good reason. I'm gonna go Redskins versus the Cowboys. Dak is just playing awful. He's not doing anything, and he's turning the ball over. I think the Redskins could have a really good chance of putting some points on the board.
All right, moving to the sits of the week. Who you got at quarterback?
Cam Newton versus the Saints. I think the Saints have a really good defense. Cam Newton, like we said.
That one's close for me.
Really?
I mean, I understand. Yeah. I know where you're coming from, but I don't know. Cam, I feel like it could be a good game for both him and Breeze.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a good game because it is a really crucial divisional matchup. But I mean, I really just don't have a whole lot of faith in Cam Newton. I think the Saints are a better team, and it's just going to go in their favor.
All right, my sit of the week at the quarterback position, sticking with the running quarterback, Dak Prescott playing Washington. I think Washington is going to eat him alive, like you mentioned. Yeah. Redskins being your start of the week at defense, but Dak looks completely lost without Zeke and a lot of key pieces.
Yep.
Running back sit. So you got?
I've got Isaiah Crowell versus the
Crow.
I just about said Los Angeles Clippers. It is the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers they've got something going on now, and their defense is looking really good, and the Browns' offense is still not looking great. Crowell's had a couple of pretty strong games lately, but I don't think it continues against a better defense.
All right, I got Frank Gore. He had the touchdown last week, playing Jacksonville this week. Don't expect anything there. Wide receiver, Dez Bryant. Sticking with the Cowboys and sit. Dez Bryant, he will have a worse game this week than he did last week. I guarantee that. And that was wide receiver like 55. Yeah. So he's playing Josh Norman and the Redskins. Dez is going to be doing nothing in this game.
Yep. I like it. My sit. Oh, man. I messed up.
What'd you do?
I put 2 starts instead of a start and a sit.
No!
Another starting wide receiver. Cooper Kupp versus the Cardinals.
I had him too. No, I have one more sit written down.
Okay, good.
I don't like putting this down, but Josh Gordon going up against Casey Hayward and the Chargers. First game back, we don't know what's going to happen. It's not the best situation to start him in.
Right.
Now, moving to tight ends. Cameron Brate is my sit of the week at the tight end position. Going against Green Bay. Green Bay's been pretty good against tight ends. Yeah. I think O.J. Howard is more fit to do something in this game over Cameron Brate.
Yeah. I'm going to go Greg Olsen. Even if he does play, which I think they're expecting him to, I think it's too big of a risk playing him, and you've got the re-injury risk. If he goes out, it could be in the first drive. It could be in the fourth quarter.
You don't want to risk that.
Yeah, and that could just totally kill your week.
Honestly, I'd rather start Ricky Seals-Jones or Gerald Everett over Greg Olsen this week.
Yeah, it's just too big of a risk just coming off that week where he did have to go out for the remainder of the game.
Yeah. Sits at the defense position, and then we'll close it out. I got the Panthers. I'm sitting the Panthers in this one.
I have got the... I was going to put the Packers, but that would ruffle your feathers. We'll just say the Packers. I'll say it.
Say what you will. Okay, that's going to be our show for today. We will be back tomorrow on Friday to give you our League of Record KPZ Ballers show. If you haven't already, go check out our Week 12 recap show. A lot of good things over there. Waiver wire. We have a great segment over there talking about playoff schedules for the fantasy playoff schedules for the remaining teams. So yeah, we I guess this is the last. By the time people listen to the Friday show, we'll be on our way to Green Bay, most likely.
We sure will.
But that's going to be all for today. So follow us on Twitter and Instagram at the423football. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, and YouTube. Give us a like. Leave your comments, questions, and reviews. Thanks for listening. We are the 423 Football Podcast.